If I could share with you 15 ideas that would change your life, would you be able to spare 5 minutes to listen? Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And I'm going over an article by a gentleman named Darius Farrow, a tremendously good article where he points out 15 different items that could help change your life. And they're small things, but when you put them all together, they make a big whole. And that's W-H-O-L-E, not H-O-L-E, by the way. All right? And we went over 8 of them the last time we spoke together. I'll review them at the end. But, you know, the key question is, do you have 5 minutes to spare? Most people, when they're in a position where they can learn something, well, I'm not doing this, I'm doing that, you know, take some time. And when you're in a position to learn something from somebody, give yourself that 5 minutes, because that time period, you know, when you find yourself a mentor, somebody that knows what's going on, that's been there and done that, you want to take advantage of that 5 minutes. And too many people tend to, you know, they're so easily distracted. But I digress. Let's get right to where we left off the last time. All right, we went over 8 different things that will help you with your life. Let's go over number 9, which is, if you want to improve your self-confidence, improve your skills. You know, and Eli, let me give you a real good example of that. You know, when you were very much younger and we used to play basketball, you didn't used to really talk all that much trash to me. Now that you're a little bit older and you've improved your basketball skills, you can't wait to get me out on the court. And part of that is the fact that you have improved your skills tremendously, and the fact that I'm now, you know, 10 years older than when we first started playing basketball together, and I have lost some of my ability out there. But the point is, you now have tremendous confidence that you can beat the old man when you go out there and you play some ball. And for the most part, you're correct. And what was it that gave you that self-confidence? You improved your skills. Well, that is a foundation for improving self-confidence. It's very, very simple. Once you improve your capabilities, and you do that by trial and error, you do that by working, you do that by failing. You fail more often, and then you get to a new starting line and you learn a little bit more and you improve and you continuously make progress. And as you make progress, then your self-confidence starts to improve. So when you're in a position where you're thinking, well, I don't have a whole lot of self-confidence in this area, improve that particular skill, and that will get your mindset in the space it needs to be, where you have some self-confidence. Number 10 is to value your friends. Okay, now this one's kind of, you want to value your friends, you want to keep your friends, but at the same time, you want to be very careful about choosing your friends. So when we say value your friends, value them. You know, take a look at them and say, you know, is this gentleman or is this lady someone that's helping me to improve, to help me get where I want to go, or are they bringing me down? Are they not allowing me to continue my progression where I can reach the promised land known as success? So when we say value your friends, it's kind of a two-pronged attack. Number one, value them, which is, you know, feel good about them and respect them. But on the other hand, take a look at the value that they're contributing to your relationship, because as we all know, you are basically a composite of the 5 people that you hang around with the most, both in achievement and financially. So the point is, if that's where you want to be, if those 5 people, if those other 4 people are the people that are going to get you to the promised land, then that's a good value. If they're not, then what you need to do is you need to readjust your schedule and spend a little less time with those that don't have value and spend more time with those that do have value. Number 11, don't believe everything that you see. You know, if there's one thing that we've learned on our success journey, it's that thoughts matter. It's that what goes on in people's minds is what motivates them to either become an achiever or to fall by the wayside and become part of the 95% crowd. So if you continuously focus only on the things that you can see, then you're not really looking outside the box. Does that make sense? All right. So, you know, the point is that it's essential for you, if you want to be an achiever, to see beyond what's right in front of you. And if that's all you see, then you are destined to be part of the 95% crowd. People that are in the 5% group focus on things that they can envision, things that will advance their cause, things that aren't there yet, and that's how they become great achievers. Number 12, learn to love criticism. Major difference in mindset between the 5%er and the 95%er. The 95%ers are governed by the fact that there's safety in not being criticized. And the people that are in the 5% group realize that it takes a number of different efforts to be able to achieve your burning desire. And if it takes a number of different efforts, guess what? There's going to be failure. There's going to be feedback. There's going to be critique. And what you want to look at that as a positive, because if you just continuously stay where you are and do the things that aren't giving you any sort of criticism, then are you really advancing any place? Does that make some sense? So you take the feedback that you get, you take the criticism that you get, you apply it, and then you say, okay, I've reached the roadblock, how do I get to my next starting line? And once you do that, then you have the correct mindset. So failure is something to be embraced in a positive way and not something to be deflating in the arena of your mindset. Number 13, if you can't take care of your body, you can't take care of anything. And that's so true, because, you know, as I am, you know, obviously not a young puppy anymore, and what happens, you get older, your body starts to break down a little bit. I mean, Eli, you are right now, just had your 16th birthday. Happy birthday once again. And, you know, you are feeling like the king of the universe, all right? You're strong, nothing, you know, nothing can hurt you, nothing can harm you. And that's the way you feel when you're that age. That's the way you feel when you're in your 20s, even your 30s. And the point is, you get to a, you know, you still want to keep an eye on that body of yours, because you know and I know when you're not feeling well, when you're not feeling healthy, then everything else takes a back seat to that. And you know that basically from just when you get, let's say, the flu and you have body aches and pains and you're lying in bed, it's like, oh, I don't want to do anything. All right, well, take that particular concept and expand it a bit so that you want to do the little things that keep you in shape. Walk, go walking, go riding on a bike, go exercising. With you right now, Eli, that's not an issue because you're out there playing ball all the time, you're in good shape. But not everybody is, and as you get older, you're going to find that you're not able to dedicate that much time to playing basketball like you want to do. But the point is, you need to set aside time to make sure that your body is able to move you forward, because that is the vessel, the vehicle that allows you to be successful. And keep an eye on it. Make sure that you're keeping your body in good enough shape. Number 14, happiness is a choice. You know, there are certain people that brighten up a room when they enter it, and there are a certain number of people that brighten up a room when they leave it. And you know what I'm talking about. There are certain people that when you see them, it's like, oh boy, this is my good buddy, this is my friend, this is somebody with enthusiasm, with charisma, somebody that's excited about life. Those are the people that you want to be around. That's also the person that you want to be. And happiness is not something, it's not an event that happens to you. Happiness is a choice that you make each and every day. And the way to be in that right space, to be in the space of happiness, is when you have your quiet thinking time every single day and you visualize your end result. You always see yourself at the final outcome having achieved that end result. And when you see yourself achieving that end result, you've got to be happy because you've just achieved your burning desire. So get yourself to the right starting line emotionally every single day by seeing yourself as an achiever. And when you do that and you feel yourself as an achiever, then you are going to be happy, because the key to happiness, my friend, is making progress each and every day. And once you do that, then you will give off the aura, the charisma of happiness. People will want to be around you, and you will feel great about yourself. Happiness is a choice. Make that choice each and every day. And number 15, create something. Create something. All right? Well, how do you create something? Well, everything that, there's really no way that you can actually create, because everything that ever will be is already here. So what is actual creation? Creation is the unfolding of what's here and putting it into its proper order. That's creation. Putting things in their proper order to achieve a certain end. How do you do that? Well, you envision the end result that you want to have, and when you do that, you send that vibe into the universe, and you start to get the infinite mind, the infinite partner, working with you to help you to achieve that goal. And that will come in the form of a mind flash or an event that you can neither predict nor plan, and then you follow it up with action. So when you create something, you first must envision it. It's not something where you're, bringing something that's not here. Everything is already here. What you must do is figure out, how can I put this in its proper order to achieve the end result that I'm looking to achieve, to get to my burning desire. So those are 15 ideas in a very few minutes that were given to us by a gentleman named Darius Farrow. I took his ideas and put my spin on each one. If you read the article, then you'll get his spin on each one. Let's quickly review the 15 ideas to change your life. Number 1, think big, act small, chunk things down. Number 2, problems are unanswered questions. A problem is an unsolved opportunity. When you look at it that way, your mindset is correct. Number 3, build relationships on a firm foundation. Be authentic. Put yourself in a position where you trust people and people trust you. Number 4, nothing in life is free. Just by thinking about something isn't going to make it happen. You've got to take some action. Number 5, never be afraid of making decisions. The only bad decision is indecision. Once you make a decision, it gets you to a new starting line. And when you run into a detour, great, no problem. You get to a new starting line. That's how you advance. But if you live in purgatory, if you're always procrastinating, you're not going to get where you want to go. So even if you make a decision and it turns out not to be right, then that leads you to the next decision that will get you closer to where you want to be. Decide to become a leader today. We have too many followers out there, people that just follow the crowd, and following the crowd puts you in the 95% crowd. If you want to be a leader, you want to be in the 5% group, then you have to have some out-of-the-box thinking, away from the crowd. Become a leader. Productivity yields results. Don't be a salary mentality individual. Focus your drive for success by achievement and not by time spent. People don't measure the time except in a sporting event, and life is not a sporting event. Measure your success by achievements, not by the time you put in, by what you got accomplished. Number 8, see yourself as a salesperson. Everything is a sales job. One of the keys to being successful in life is being able to become persuasive. So study the art of persuasion, work with it constantly, and do a sales job to motivate people to do what you want them to do, because you've sold them on the idea that it's in their best interest to do that as well. Does that make sense? Number 9, if you want to improve your self-confidence, improve your skills. When you're able to improve your capabilities, you feel better about yourself, you feel more confident, you start trash talking as you do when you play basketball with me, because you've improved your skills in that area. So if you want to improve your self-confidence, get to work on a particular skill set and improve, and then that will build your self-confidence. Value your friends 2 ways. Number 1, feel good about your friends, value them. On the other hand, value is a verb also. So figure out which friends, which associates have the most value, because you become a composite of the people you hang around with the most. Make sure that the people that you hang around with the most are the ones that are the most valuable. Number 12, learn to love criticism. No one reaches the promised land without running into potholes and detours. You've got to recognize that. And so if that's the case, if there's always going to be failures, so to speak, always remember that failure is feedback, and to treat it that way, and to say, boy, I just got some good feedback. Now I can take the next step forward. So you must learn to love criticism and failure, or you're not going to get there. What's going to happen is you'll be discouraged and you'll stop. And you see that happen with so many people in the 95% crowd. 13, if you can't take care of your body, you can't take care of anything. If you're not feeling good, you can't focus on your burning desire, because the only thing you're focusing on is, I don't feel very good. And I'm as much of a baby and a whiner as the next person, probably even more so. So it's essential that you keep your health in the forefront of your activities. Make sure that that body of yours is working up to snuff so that you're able to perform. Because if you're not feeling good, that puts a monkey wrench in everything you want to do. 14, happiness is a choice. Every morning, get up, visualize, see yourself reaching your final outcome. When you do, that makes you happy, that gives you charisma, that will draw people to you. That's the way you want to be. Those are the people that you also want to be hanging around with. And number 15, create something, think outside the box. Remember, everything that we want is already here. The key thing is to unfold it, put it in the right order. That's how things get created, and then there's a process to that. It's a mental process, a physical process. Send that vibe out there of what you want to achieve. Be in a position to receive the transmission from the infinite mind. Comes in a mind flash, an event or a circumstance, and take action upon it. That's how things get created. Once again, another shout out to Darius Farrow for his outstanding article. And I just said all of the things that I have been saying and will continue to say. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's all get out there and let's charge! I'm Eli's dad.